It is 5 o'clock in the morning, dead winter. Outside, the fields are completely dark. Everyone in my house is asleep. I'm standing alone in my room, holding something in both hands. Not a weapon, not anything the English world would look at twice. A razor, small and plastic, probably costs less than $1. I am 15 years old, and I am holding it like it has a weight it should not have. My name is Hannah. I grew up Old Order Amish in Holmes County, Ohio. I am 18 now. What I am about to tell you, I have never said out loud to a single person. Not my ma'am, not my sisters, nobody. I carried this secret for 3 years. And the most honest thing I can tell you is that what I did was completely ordinary. Millions of women do it every day without a single thought. In my world, it felt like it could cost me everything. Before I get to the story, you need to understand where I come from. The Ordnung, our community rule book, unwritten but completely ironclad, governs more than most outsiders imagine. Not just the buggy and the plain dress, it reaches into the body itself. In my community, removing body hair of any kind was completely forbidden. And this had nothing to do with cleanliness. Amish women are immaculately clean. This rule was about something entirely different. It was about what it means to alter what God gave you. The belief is this: your body was created by God deliberately, every part of it exactly as He designed. To change it, even something as small as removing hair, is to say your own preference matters more than His design. In a community built around Gelassenheit, yielding, placing God's will above your own, that thinking is considered dangerous. The first step of a soul pulling away from God. Minister Yoder preached about this constantly, though never directly. He preached about plainness, submission, how the outward appearance reveals what is happening inside the soul. Every woman sitting in those church benches understood exactly what he meant. But here is what I want you to understand most: I grew up never knowing it was a rule at all because it was never spoken. My mom never sat me down and explained it. It simply existed in the behavior of every woman around me. I assumed, the way a child assumes anything that has always been true, that this was simply how women were, until something made me notice it for the first time. The summer I was 14, my cousin Leah visited from an old order district in Indiana. One hot afternoon, we sat on the porch shelling peas. Leah had rolled her sleeves to the elbow against the heat. I glanced at her arm. Something I expected to see was not there. Leah noticed me noticing, said absolutely nothing, just a small, almost invisible shrug, and went back to the peas. I did not ask. You do not ask about such things. But a question I had no words for yet sat in my chest like an ember I could not put out. Weeks later, at the fabric store in town, an English girl reached up for a bolt of fabric. Her sleeve slid back. I saw her arm, then her lower leg. I looked down at my own hands, my own forearms. For the first time in 15 years, I became aware of myself from the outside. Not with shame, just a sudden strange awareness. I put it away as fast as I could. But I could not put it away all the way. It was October when I found it. Cleaning the bathroom, reaching to the very back of the cabinet. My fingers touched something smooth and plastic, a single disposable razor, left behind by an English relative who had forgotten it months earlier. I held it, put it back, thought about it for an entire week. Then I hid it behind the loose trim board at the bottom of my closet wall. I did not throw it away, and that told me something about myself I was not ready to hear. The first time was early winter, 5 o'clock in the morning, frost on the window, cold water in the wash basin, no hot running water in our home. I stood there looking at the razor in my hand. It felt like something that had a door in it, like it could open somewhere I had never been. I did not know yet whether that somewhere was good or terrible, only that it existed. What I did took less than 10 minutes, something so ordinary that in the English world it is done without any thought at all. For me, it felt like the most deliberate thing I had ever done. When I finished, I emptied the basin out the window into the dark, put everything back, and went downstairs. My dad's boots were on the porch. Wood smoke from the kitchen stove. Everything identical to every other morning of my life, except something in me was quietly different. And then, before I reached the bottom of the stairs, the guilt arrived. I want to be honest about what that guilt was, because it was not fear of getting caught. I was afraid the community was right, that this one private, invisible choice really was the beginning of something unraveling that could not be stopped. I sat at breakfast and apologized inwardly so many times I lost count before the sun was fully up. Real apologies, because I genuinely did not know whether I had done something small or something enormous. But I did not throw the razor away. That was the beginning of 3 years of carrying two selves inside one body, the Hannah who sat in church on Sunday morning, singing from the Osbund and meaning every single word, and the Hannah with a razor hidden behind her closet trim. Both completely real. Both completely true. Holding both of them every day with no one to tell, that is an exhaustion I'm still searching for words for. 3 times I almost stopped completely. Once after a sermon that reached somewhere too deep. Once when my sister Mary sat beside me and asked quietly, "Hannah, are you doing all right?" And I came so close to telling her everything. And once when my mom watched my face at dinner just a moment too long, the way mothers do when they sense something without being able to name it. Each time I almost confessed, each time I did not. I am 18 now, still in my community, still in my room. During Rumspringa, I found these videos through a borrowed device and sat watching them, feeling something unlock in my chest I did not know was locked. I am not here to tell you I am leaving. I do not know yet. But I know this story needed to exist somewhere outside my own chest. The life I grew up in gave me real things: community, faith, belonging, the knowledge of what it means to be part of something larger than yourself. Those things are not nothing. I hold them carefully even now. But curiosity about your own body is not pride. It is not the first step of a soul turning away from God. It is something so fundamentally human that no community, however sincere, can fully erase it. That girl at 15, standing alone in the cold before dawn, terrified of something completely ordinary, she was not losing her soul. She was just trying to know herself. If you are her right now, whatever community, whatever secret you have been told makes you broken, you are not alone. You never were. That is all I came here to say. Leave a comment if this reached you somewhere real. And if you want to hear more from behind the prayer cap, subscribe to Hannah the Amish Girl. I have a lot more to say. I am just getting started.